Hey, what's going on everybody? Mike here, AX Garage. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode on our TSX CL9 project. Now, the last couple of episodes, we dropped the motor, we got a complete refresh. Now with the motor out of the way, before we put everything back in, we go ahead and take that opportunity to get the engine bay painted. And Brian and JC gonna show you guys what they're gonna be doing right here in the body shop.
We've got the TSX all in the body shop, and what you're seeing here is a white primer that we applied previously, and it's all getting sanded down with a 400 grit by Juan. Now he's being very meticulous and sanding in every single nook and cranny just to make sure that the surface is completely smooth. Engine bays are a lot more tedious. It has a lot more labor time to try to get everything nice and smooth. So if you're doing an engine bay like this, what we'd like to do is really take our time and we'll go around the whole entire engine bay 2 or 3 times and make sure everything is nice and smooth, because if not, the paint is going to reflect your prep work. Remember that prep is about 90% of the job and paint is just about 10%. So once the guys had it all sanded down, it was ready for the paint booth. They got everything nice and taped up, and we're gonna go ahead first with a white sealer. Now you might see areas that are down and sanded down a little bit more. So a white sealer is basically a thinned out primer, and we're gonna apply that right now, and then from that point, we will be able to lay down our base coat. Now the base coat is premium white pearl, and there's a few variances for this color, so we chose the correct one, which is a little bit more yellower, so it matches the rest of the vehicle, especially when it goes off the paint. We want to make sure everything is nice and uniform. So I'm putting down the white base coat, and you'll only need about 2 coats to get covered. You can see there's a lot of crawling in and out to get these engine bays nice and clean and make sure there's paint not only on the top but underneath. Once the base coat is all laid down, this is what it looks like. Then it's actually time for the pearl. And yes, we are doing the pearl in the engine bay just like the factory, but the key is to lay it down smooth. You can see how smooth this base looks, and this is the pearl coat. Now this is the second coat that's going to go on top of the base, and it's going to give it that effect, that nice pearl effect that you would see in the sun when the sun glistens. You're going to have that same exact look when the engine bay is popped, when the hood is popped. You'll be able to look down into it and see the same exact effect. Now vehicles like this do not come full gloss, they don't come full paint from the factory, but at AHC Garage we like to take it a step further and make all of our work look completely uniform. And why not? The engine bay is pulled already, a little bit extra work to get everything completely removed, and we put a nice beautiful paint job that we can be proud of. And when that engine gets popped back into the actual compartment, everything's going to look beautiful with everything contrasting with white and black. Then it was time for the clear coat. Now the clear coat would be 2 wet coats of clear coat and making sure we have full gloss everywhere. This is gonna really take the engine bay to another level. With these 2 full coats of wet paint, not only is it gonna look great, but when the guys are working in the engine bay, if they have a little bit of grease, if they have a little bit of oil, it's gonna wipe right off. And that's something that you cannot do if you have like a matte paint job or if you have that factory paint job. That base coat's a little bit gritty, so it doesn't really clean off well, but with this clear coat, just like the exterior of the vehicle, you can just take a rag and some detailer spray. It will wipe right off for years to come. You'll never have an issue. We're gonna go ahead and pass this one on back to the boys, and I can't wait to see everything installed back into the engine bay and looking nice and crispy.
All right guys, so we just got a car back from the paint shop. The car is in pieces. Along with that, we have new parts, a lot of new parts. I mean, it's everywhere. This is an organized mess, and I promise you, it will get better. And we got parts all over here too as well. So with that being said, the first thing we're gonna have to do, and Tigger and I are gonna have to put the car on the lift. So we're gonna have to get a subframe tool out of the way, then we can put the car on the lift, then we'll start putting everything back together in the engine bay here. Ready?
Yeah.
So here's the engine bay. Now we got the car up in the lift, nice and secure. The first thing we're gonna do is to remove the very last piece of the puzzle, which is the heater hoses over here. And we have one here. We got 2 other new ones along with new clamps. And TJ, go ahead and get them removed from the heater core. All right. So one of the things that TJ did, he went ahead and cut open the hose rather than using a plier, because oftentimes when you use the plier, you would mushroom this pipe here. So to cut it off would be your best bet. And all we got to do is just install the new hose along with the new clamps. So over here is the original clutch master cylinder along with the hose, the reservoir, and the bracket. So over here we have everything brand new. Now with the new clutch system, we do have to run a different master cylinder. So we are running a master cylinder from a 2002 Civic, so EM2 master cylinder. A little different. One of the reasons we have to change it because on the OEM one is actually have this valve here, and now with this new clutch setup we have to run the EM2 clutch master cylinder, and now the new owner going to be able to bang gears. I'm not sure he's able to do that, but now along with that, like I said, we have everything brand new, every bolt, every screws, every hose to replace this old system here. Reservoir going in, new brackets, new screw. Oh yeah, one of many parts going back on this engine bay here. So we got the clutch master and the reservoir back in, and off camera we went ahead and put on our hood along with the fenders next up. I think we're getting ready for our brake master and the booster. And as you see over there, TJ got the booster that's freshly finished. And now over here we have a brand new OEM brake master cylinder. And we got Brian from Pink Society. We finished our brake master. New brake master cylinder going in now. Now next up we're getting ready to run our lines, all of the brake lines here, proportional valve down here, along with the lines that go to the caliper. Got a new grommet, nice and fresh. Gonna pop that in. There you go. So ABS modulator and the brake lines going up next. Now right over here we have our proportional valve. Go ahead and tighten that down before we bolt everything down in place. Try to get all the new brackets on the back side.
So the overspray looks good.
All right, so we got two last lines to tighten up, which is right at the brake master cylinder. T's going to go ahead and tighten up the last line. Other than that, we have all of our brake lines back in the car, every single one of them. I think that was the most difficult part. Out of the firewall here. All right, so I think next up we're going to start messing with the harness.
All right, hold on.
So we got the perfect ground contact there, and we put a brand new OEM ground bolts there too, so we got a perfect ground there. Now here's another look in the engine bay here, looking a lot better. Took us a few hours to get here, believe it or not. The harness is all there. Take a look here, looking good. It's a little bit more for engine prep before engine go in, but we'll go ahead and keep going here. So we just cleaned off all of the ground. We got two on this side and then two on the other side. We're going to tighten those up. We got our resonator on the bottom here. We got it nice and refinished. After that, we'll move on to probably the latch, the hood latch, and then we can bolt on our radiator and the condenser. Now take a look at over here. We have the stock condenser. It's deteriorating. And we got a brand new one for you guys. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and finish up the grounds over here. Perfect. Two horns. All right, so next up we have our latch. Got a brand new one. I think we showed you guys the old one before, and not gonna want to run into any issues down the road. So while we're here, we'll go ahead and put a new latch on it. Got all new hardware is already mounted on the radiator support, and also we got the cover nice and refinished here. And next up, our windshield cap is ready to go back on. We got that nice and refinished as well with SEM. Look how nice that look.
Alright, so we're gonna get ready to put our condenser and our radiator in. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I know coil radiators are usually like aftermarket, upgraded performance radiators that we all like to use. But they make OEM replacement stuff as well, condensers, radiators, you know, so it's really cool that we were able to get some OEM replacements because they don't really have these much laying around anymore, and then when you find them, they're super expensive. So next best option would be a nice coil radiator or coil condenser. So that's what we did. We went with a condenser and a radiator from Coil Air. All right, so there it is. OEM replacement from Coil. If you notice, the factory is painted black. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw some SCM black paint on here, kind of make it look like it's an OEM one.
So we got our condenser nice and set up here, and all we're gonna do is just spray a few coats of SCM paint on it to turn this into OEM look. And guys, here's the final product. Look how good that look. Now we do have the stock OEM one here. And check out these fins. Half of them are gone. Look at that right there. And a new one. All right, new condenser going in. And to ensure that we not have any leak, we went ahead and changed the O-ring here. And now we're just gonna go ahead and pop that in. So here's the other AC hose. We got both his brand new O-rings here. I'll take the package from you. Pop that in. And now we're going to move on to the radiator. Now, first thing we're going to put on are the stoppers on the very bottom. Here's the original radiator and the fans, along with the reservoir here. And like TJ mentioned, we do have a Coil Rag OEM replacement radiator as well. Well, aside from the fans and the radiator that is aftermarket replacement, we do have some OEM parts here. Oh, look at that. And here's a quick look at our Coil Rag radiator OEM replacement. Now this radiator is for both manual and automatic. The automatic does come with a cooler line which run through the radiator. I got the fitting there for the temperature sensor. And for our application, we don't need those, so we go ahead and remove those. And we do have a fresh OEM temp sensor. Let's go screw right down to the Coil Rag OEM replacement radiator. All right, let's go ahead and slap on our new fan here onto the radiator. Yeah, we went ahead and picked up a few of these aftermarket OEM replacement fan motor and shroud. They come as an assembly. I have those on my EM1 and also our DC2 and also John's EG. They work really well and they all come together and super affordable too. I believe they're like $75 a piece. And here's the OEM setup here. With the age, new set is a must. put that in. Well guys, there you have it, our new setup and the original setup. Now let's go ahead and put that back in the car now. Wow, look at that right there. Now that's great progress. Very satisfying.
You have a new radiator cap or no?
I sure do. Let me see. I think we have it. Right here. Boom. Boom.
This goes here.
It's the AC compressor. There we go.
Here we go. Don't forget, temp sensor.
Boom.
All right, so we got our radiator and condenser all in. So now what I'm gonna do is pop in some of the hood stoppers here. We got 4 of them. 2 go here, and we got the 2 that screw into here to level the hood. Then after that, we're gonna go ahead, we'll throw on our freshly painted bumper support beam here. And then we'll go ahead and throw our old headlights back in for now, because we gotta get that to the body shop to get painted. And after that, we're gonna throw on the whole OEM Euro R conversion. You know, none of this aftermarket stuff. We got fresh OEM, brand new in the box. Let's go ahead and pop these in here.
Oh, that clip on so nice. All right, so we go ahead and load down the hood because a little earlier we went ahead and put on our wiper arm. Now it does still have the factory, I wouldn't say factory, but the aftermarket wiper blades, and we do have a set of OEM ones, and we'll go ahead and pop those on in the meantime. A set of OEM wiper blades. Oh, look at that. Nice and shiny, just like the engine bay. She's coming along just fine here. And while we're here, we go ahead and bolt on the power steering cooler. We did opt in a new one. The old one is pretty bad shape. Certain spots look kind of rusty. So we got a new one here to prevent any type of issues down the road. Next thing, we're gonna go ahead and throw on our headlights. All right, guys, so take a look here. We got our headlights in. Now these are the original headlights. We just went ahead and put some polisher on there, so it makes it look a little nicer. Like TJ said, we are getting the JDM or the Euro R front end. Once the car is all painted, we'll go ahead and put that on. But in the meantime, we just want to throw on the headlights so we can kind of put the car back together. But she's looking really, really good right now. So now with the headlights being together, we got a few more things to button up in the engine bay before our next video putting in the engine. And up next, we'll go ahead and mount up our engine mount here on the side rail. We went with an OEM factory mount because everything else pretty much is OEM under the hood. And over here we got the other side engine mount. All right, so up next we'll be prepping our subframe, get everything ready. Like I mentioned before, next video we'll put our engine back together. Now, subframe is completely refinished, nice and clean. Now, along with that, not sure you guys saw it before on a previous video, the control arm were complete trash. And what do we have here, TJ?
We got a nice brand new set of some hard race lower control arms. Give a nice little upgrade to it.
So one of the things that we definitely not keep it an all OEM, which is going to be the suspension. The car is going to be lowered with all hard race suspensions, and as we're going to be setting up here, we'll be setting up our front lower control arm here. It's in this beautiful blue, hardened bushing. I think this might be the same control arm that we put on Brian's Honda Accord.
Yep, these are the same ones we put.
Yeah, so really, really nice arm. Along with that, we do have a set of sway bar links to match, and later on you guys are going to be able to see all of the new suspension that we put in on the car. Now before we do that, let's go ahead and put these arms on, because we got a few other things we got to finish: the motor mount and also the power steering rack. And TJ gonna show you guys how he's going to replace the inner and outer tie rod end on that as well. Brand new OEM front mounts is up next here. Our front sway bar is up next here.
Let's see this.
And up next is going to be a power steering rack. And over here is all of the new parts that we'll be replacing. Inner tie rod ends, outer tie rod end, boots, and all of the hardware. In the meantime, let's go ahead and put on the rack. Here, TJ removing the outer tie rod end. Now here's a better angle of the special tool that TJ used to remove the inner tie rod end. Boom. And here we have the special tool for that band here. There you have it. Perfect. And the last thing for the power steering rack, we have ourselves a brand new high pressure power steering hose here. Well guys, there you have it. With a high pressure power steering hose out of the way, we got the subframe completely finished. And also we started off with a bare engine bay with Paint Society. Give it a beautiful paint job under the bay, premium white pearl, until you're not able to put the entire bay back together and get ready for next video where we're gonna put our K24A2 engine back in the car. Right after that, we'll be sending the car to the paint shop, get it completely painted, and also that UR front end along with the factory body kit. You definitely don't want to miss. Make sure you subscribe to this series, our channel, give us a thumbs and share this video with your friends and family. Until then, we'll see you guys again next week.